Hello everyone, my name is Jackson. You'll be very surprised when you learn how, from a simple guy, a grey mouse, I suddenly became a magnet for all of the girls at school. I was surprised when it happened, especially since I didn't have anything to do with it. And yes, just so you know, I was always alone at school. I didn't really have any friends. I never dated anyone. My whole life was monotonous, very quiet, and that was fine with me. My classmates, guys, often bullied me, kicked me, tripped me up. Elton was the biggest arsehole. He bullied me the most. Hey Jackie, how are you? You wearing more decent underwear today? Because I'll be pulling your underpants over your head. Elton, get off me. You seriously hurt me last time. Seriously hurt? Was little Jackie in pain? Don't call me that, okay? Just go where you were going. You would be glad that at least someone noticed you. You're so quiet and modest, quieter than a shadow. Doesn't it frighten you? I'm fine with it. Okay, Jackie, I have to go now, but I'll see you later. Something like this happened every day. Elton made me the epicenter of the bullying, and I just had to put up with it. Sometimes I wondered, what if I suddenly became popular? Maybe my life would have changed for the better, or at least Elton is behind me and it's worth it. And then one day, my thoughts became material. One day, I woke up famous. I was supposed to have an important English exam that morning. I spent most of the night studying and didn't sleep. I didn't fall asleep until late in the morning, and I was woken up by a phone call. I looked at the phone and was so surprised because Rob called me. This is my classmate. He certainly hasn't offended me, but we never talked, except only about homework. Sleepily, I picked up the phone. Hello? Hello? Jones, you're a plague man, and so quiet. And there it is. I mean, what do you mean? What do I mean? Come on, am I the first person to call you? Yes, it's still 5:30 in the morning. Oh, I'm sorry, I just stared and lost track of time. I didn't sleep all night. And, well, anyway, congratulations. I'll see you at school. Rob hung up, and I didn't know what was going on. I then put it out of my mind and decided to sleep for another hour and a half. And then, everything is as usual. I had breakfast, packed up and went to school. Outside school, I was met by all my classmates. The girls, for some reason, made eyes at me, smiled, waved their hands. I really didn't understand what was happening, and I hurried to the classroom with a surprised look. As soon as I ran into the classroom, Elton met me there. He was getting closer to me, and I was ready to fight back. But he was like, whoa, 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 easy bro. I just wanted to shake your hand. I didn't expect you to, pretty boy. And mostly, he was silent all this time. Kept quiet about what? Come on, modesty is a man's beauty, but don't overdo it, okay? In general, the film turned out to be really chic. Come on, sit down at your desk. Our star. Immediately after him, the teacher entered our class, and before starting the lesson, she also told me a few words about my debut, that I'm a very modest and this is a good indicator. In short, I was the only one who didn't understand what was going on. When the lesson was over, Rob ran up to me. He said that the girls in our class are preparing a surprise right after school, and I need to go there. What? What kind of surprise? Why? I asked him. And he just laughed, said that it was necessary. I walked down the hall, and all the girls in school came up to me, greeted me. Some of them tried to shake my hand. One even kissed me on the cheek. The most important cheerleader came up to me and told me that I looked even better today than usual, although I was wearing the same clothes as the last 2 years. I don't like shopping. In short, suddenly I became a magnet for all the girls, and I could feel the guys envying me, looking rather timid. But this was a plus, none of them touched me now. I seemed to have an immunity. I was particularly happy about that. Anyway, after school, Rob took my hand, I was blindfolded, and led somewhere. When they untied my eyes, I saw a poster in front of me, a cake, and the girls were standing around me smiling. It's like a birthday party I've never celebrated in my life. Only, after a couple of minutes, I saw the poster. There was a photo, and I realised the day before the premiere of the film, shot in our city. We were all really looking forward to it because we had never filmed anything before, and the main character was my copy. All the guys thought that I starred as the main role and kept quiet about it because of my modesty. I wanted to say that it wasn't me. It really wasn't me, but I was interrupted. Kissed on the cheek, shook hands, and then I froze for a second and I looked to see what was happening. It was like a fairy tale. Everyone was running around me. Jackie, will you do this or that? Let's take a picture. Sign me a photo. I was invited to parties. I felt like the king of parties. My life changed in a couple of days. This influenced my style of dress. I put on more colourful things for the first time. I even got a piercing in my ear, and the girls liked that even more. Since when did my son become so popular? Recently. I'm surprised myself. Jackie, I understand that fame is nice, especially when it's unexpected, and you don't have to do anything for it. Mum, what are you talking about? Son, I know what's going on. I also watched the movie. Besides, my neighbours and even distant relatives call me. Everyone's asking when I managed to sign you up for the casting and not tell anyone. At that moment, I felt ashamed. I suddenly remembered that I was living someone else's expense and had gone too far. Mum, I understand you, son. Just please don't get carried away. You're not like that. I know. I raised you to be an honest boy. Yes, Mum, I think I'm playing too much. You can be what you are now. Without a pseudo-fame, nothing prevents you from making your choice, communicating with someone, becoming who you want to be. Yes, my mother was right and I knew it. But how do I do it? How do I tell so many people that I lied to them? That I pretended to be a popular actor who looked like my copy? Suddenly, several cars drove into our city. They were all accompanied by the police, and we knew that they were not ordinary guests. Then, it turned out to be the cast of that very film that was shot in our county. They decided to give a press conference in our city, and when everyone came out, including the main actor, everyone was in shock. Can you imagine how dozens of eyes looked at me? I could feel myself slowly burning with shame. Sorry guys, I understand. I mean, do you understand? Did you use us? He led us by the nose. I mean, I didn't mean to, it just happened. You could have stopped it, tell the truth, but you were silent. I liked your attention, and I'm sorry. Well, well, well. And here's our old Jackie. You'll get it from me now. Elton swung, was about to hit me, and suddenly his hand was held by someone. This was the hero of that movie, my double. His name was Joffrey. Everyone watched, and was in a state of shock, including me. So, that's who my doppelganger is. I decided to meet you in person. I even came here. I see you got used to my role pretty quickly. I'm sorry. You don't have to apologise. It's all right. I was just about to offer you a job. I need an understudy, and you're perfect. Talk to you later. From that moment, I started working with him. My popularity did not go away. I remained the same magnet, only this time my fame was fully justified by honest work, which I was very happy about. My mum was proud of me too, and I was so glad I didn't have to lie to anyone anymore. Now I was being honest, first and foremost with myself. Tell me, guys, did you like my story? Write your opinion about it in the comments below the video. Do not forget to put your likes, share the video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.
Greetings to all. My name is Gloria, and I'm probably going to get a lot of negative comments right now, but I'll tell you what it is. Just listen to the rest of it, because I'm telling you this story for a reason. It is important for me to hear your opinion and understand whether I did everything right. Please do not forget to like the video and subscribe to this channel. In general, I am a billionaire. Yes, my parents are very rich people. We had a luxurious house, a lot of cars, expensive clothes, our own servants, and I even had my own driver. When I was born, we already had money. My parents are both from not poor families, and when they got married, the wealth only increased. No wonder they say that money sticks to money. Just so you understand, my father had 14 cars, and my mother had 15, almost each to match the color of her most chic outfit and mood. We often used to go on vacation abroad, not denying ourselves anything. We had our own yacht, and Dad was about to buy an entire island so we could go there on vacation when we had free time. My mother never cooked. She did not like this business at all, but in principle, this was not necessary because we had several cooks. Since I was a child, I've only eaten good food made from expensive dishes. But you know, when you grow up with money, that doesn't seem so important anymore. Whenever I drove through the streets and saw kids queuing for burgers, I thought they were beggars. I couldn't understand how they could even eat fake food. It was all worth it, of course. Cheap. Well, for me at least. In general, so we lived. And as they say, all good things come to an end. My father burned out in a moment. It was just awful. We were impoverished overnight. My mother was heartbroken because we had no idea how to continue living. The only thing we have left is half. Yes, maybe it's not so little, but not much. We took away a whole half. No, it wasn't the police. It was serious people who took their own. That's what they said. We had to sell a lot, give up entertainment, and the purchase of the island was out of the question. It was a difficult time, and we tried to save on everything. My mother said that I should now go to a simple school among ordinary children and not tell anyone that we are rich. It was a real challenge for me. I disgustedly opened the door. I went into the corridor and saw the chaos, where middle and low-class children ran around, where children drink one drink for two, eat one popcorn, and in general, how did they learn in such conditions? In class, I couldn't make friends with anyone. I wanted to howl and run back to my closed school, where they ate with knives and forks, where there are guards, and where my driver took me. And now what? I was supposed to take the bus, eat school food, and drink plain water, not imported from Italy? I didn't talk to my classmates just because I was disgusted. I didn't want them to touch me. I didn't eat lunch at school, preferring to be hungry. Every day I cried at home and asked to be brought back. But my parents kept saying that we couldn't go back, because now my father is trying to get the money back and we need to save. One day, when I was sitting alone at lunch, my classmate sat down with me. Her name was Matilda. She offered me sandwiches and I turned my head away in disgust, although I was terribly hungry. To be honest, it looked delicious, but my pride wouldn't let me. Matilda took half of it and pushed the other half toward me. I asked her why she was so kind to me, to which she replied, "Why not?" Her answer surprised me. How can you treat someone well just like that? At my old school, we paid each other if we wanted to ask for a favor. I picked up her sandwich, took a bite, and realized it was the most delicious thing I'd ever eaten. She poured me a glass of juice, and it was just homemade orange juice. "Is that your mother cooking?" I asked, and Matilda replied, "Of course." I was surprised. Is it really possible to cook such delicious food at home? From that moment on, Matilda became my first friend for nothing. Every day she shared lunch with me. Sometimes we walked around the city and she showed me simple, free things that you can get a lot of pleasure from. For example, a walk in the fresh air, a lunch that her mother cooked for us. Matilda taught me to ride a bike. I tried a burger for the first time and washed it down with a Coke. My new friend showed me a different life, and it didn't turn out to be a bad one. When it was her birthday, I pulled out my savings and went to her house. Everyone gave her gifts, and I brought her money. There was about $1,000, and you know what? She refused to take it. I was very surprised, but she said that she knew about my family, financial difficulties, and that we are billionaires. "You need more money now. I invited you just like that," she said. I came home and asked my mother, "Are there people who do things not for money?" But my mother shook her head. She said that this does not happen. Everything in this world is based on money. I thought about it again, and then I texted Matilda that she was my best friend, and she texted me back. I was pleased to be friends with this girl, and I wanted to introduce her to my old rich friends. They were having a party, and I took her with me. As soon as we got there, she was ridiculed. "Didn't we tell you that you can't take homeless people with you?" the girl said sarcastically. I looked at Matilda in fright. She was upset, and I was so ashamed in front of her. Already with different eyes, I looked at my old company, where the girls laughed a lot, drank expensive drinks, and all the talk was only about money, shopping, and everything. "Apparently, your new school for beggars didn't do you any good," they said. "Not everything in the world is based on money," I said, taking Matilda's hand and leading her away. I took her to the park, bought us burgers, and asked for forgiveness. Matilda wiped away her tears and said that I had changed a lot and that she was happy and proud of me. That made me smile. I suddenly realized that money can't buy true friendship. A year later, Dad's business improved and we were rich again, even more than we were before. My father's first suggestion was to transfer me back to my old school, and I refused. I didn't want to learn anymore and be surrounded by people who didn't have real values. When I explained my choice to my father, he said that he respected my choice and did not dare to interfere with it. My mom didn't like the idea, but my dad talked her into letting me decide for myself. So I stayed in my poor school, where I even began to dress more simply. By the way, I even had my own group of friends, and my friendship with Matilda only grew stronger. I realized that among the poor people, there are sincere and kind people who are ready to love people just for who they are. Am I right?